Today is President's Day. What a better time to take a look back at the visits presidents have made to the Bangor area dating back to 1871.
The nation was almost 100 years old before Bangor finally got a visit from a president. In this story that originally ran in 2008, Alan Grover reports on those early visits.
Bangor is filled with traces of presidents, including this life cast of Abraham Lincoln's hand. It's kept at the former mansion of 19th century Mayor Samuel Dale, which is now the home of the Bangor Historical Society. It was in this very home that Bangor received its first presidential visit in 1871 from Ulysses S. Grant. The streets were decorated in his honor, but Grant is said to have suffered an insult at dinner time that resulted in a bit of a presidential huff.
Well, one of the rumors was that they forgot to issue the invitation to the president for this particular dinner, and that he was rousted out of the Bangor house in a hurry and brought up here, where he came in the front door and left by the back door. But I don't know that that's true. The newspaper reports of the next day reported that Lord Lisgar and the president and several other dignitaries dined at the Mayor Dale's mansion. So it sounds like he really did have his dinner here.
In the 1880s, Chester Arthur and Benjamin Harrison paid quick visits to Bangor, rushing through the local train station after visiting friends in Bar Harbor. It wasn't until 1902 that Teddy Roosevelt decided to stay a while.
It was in the summertime, and it was then called Maplewood Park. It's now Bass Park. Fair season, Bangor State Fair. And someone had the brilliant idea of charging $1, which is a lot of money in 1902, to show off the chief executive. So they joke later that you normally show off livestock at the fair, but here was the president. 8
years later, President William Howard Taft gave a speech from the portico of the Bangor House on Main Street. There are stories that he brought his own bed, since he weighed 330 pounds. But it turns out that Taft never spent the night in Bangor, so that presidential rumor appears to be false. It would be another 45 years before the next visit from a sitting president. Dwight Eisenhower drove into Bangor in 1955 after a convertible ride down the length of Route 2.
Yep, stops in Pittsfield and comes right down Route 2 through all the towns, Etna, Carmel, and stops. Ends up coming down right into Dow Field, which is the Air Force Base back then, and flying back to Washington. Margaret Chase Smith, she had a clam bake for him over in Skowhegan earlier in the day, so it was a day that people still remember.